back on here. Welcome back to the Hood Smart Late Night Show. Glad to see some of y'all back on here. All my regulars, Lex, Uzi, what's going on, brother? Major Tether Babble on the way. Man, they just can't help it, dog. We gotta do something about these tethers, these cuckoo birds, because they're really annoying. Like they're like children, like they're kids. We don't circulate our dollars in our community. Yeah, they're like big ass children. See what I'm saying? It's like they come on here, they get the then they get the crying. We gotta rock them to bed. Like, what's up with these immigrants? Yes, ma'am, I am, or sir. Lua B, yes, I'm talking about FBA. Yeah, so before we get into today's topic, there's a few things that I seen. Yesterday I had a Haitian guy come on my panel and started that bushmeat cuckoo bird talk. Look, nigga. If you seen the news lately, nigga, have you seen the news lately, nigga? And I'm like, nigga, what? What happened? One of you FBAs on the live the Jewish girl. You on the live a Jewish girl. And then at first I said, okay, good. What the problem is? But I was just joking. I was just like, JK. I was just playing. See what I'm saying? I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't know what the hell he was referring to. All I know, he kept pointing his finger, talking about what FBAs did. So he went on this rant about the unaliving of I forgot what the woman name was, but I know the brother name was Decarlos Brown, and he unalived some Jewish girl who fled from Ukraine, a Ukraine refugee, and got stabbed up. So I went and I looked at the video. So I checked the video out to see what they hollering about. And then, like always, the video, whenever they come up with these things that black folk, first of all, let's get this straight. We got to question this brother's lineage. First of all, his name is Decarlos Brown. That don't sound like a nigga to me. Don't no nigga name their kid Decarlos. You see what I'm saying? Don't no niggas name their kid Decarlos. So I'm not understanding. This could be, some we don't know what he is. So to say that he's FBA, I don't know, family. I ain't going for that. But anyways, when I looked at the video, the shit looks suspect. So you got the little white T Ukraine girl. She's sitting in front of the bus seat, and then the brother's sitting behind her, right? And the brother gets up. He's wearing, a red hoodie, looking suspicious as hell, like all these supposedly black unalivings. You got the brother looking like a casual, the usual suspect with dreads, right? Anyways, so the brother gets up and he gets like over top of her and starts just shanking her in the neck. She's, ah! It don't look like she screamed, but the first thing she did, and then the brother just moved away. And then once he moved away, you see blood dripping on the floor. But the first thing she did was she covered her mouth. She looked like this. And then 5 minutes later, she rolled to the side and passed out and was unalive. Now, when she fell out her seat, like some slow-mo movie kind of, what I'm saying? Like, it took, I'm sorry, but it looked played out as script to me. Because when she rolled over and hit the ground, you see blood underneath her butt. And I'm like, why is there blood underneath her butt and she got stabbed in her chest and her neck? That's what the news reports say. So I'm over here trying to figure out what the hell. And when she got stabbed, or when she got jabbed, you don't see no markings on her neck. See what I'm saying? You don't see no, open wounds. There's no blood marks, nothing. Like, and I know blood is not supposed to be leaking out, but not a scratch. You know what I'm saying? Not an open wound, just and then you gonna cover your mouth? I don't know, y'all. The shit look a little bit too suspect to me. So, we just got to be careful when people, try to use violence. When they use violence, they always use our face for violence. See what I'm saying? They use our face for violence, and they try to, push an agenda. Even white tees are talking about there's something funny style going with that situation. Yeah, the shit don't make sense to me. I'm not understanding, and I'm not saying that, I'm a crime investigator and I know everything, but listen, if someone get in your neck with a knife, I'm holding that spot. Like I'm looking around like, what the hell? The girl literally said, like, come on, bro. Get out of here. It's just James. James, you gotta come up. Why y'all keep telling me to let y'all up? But y'all don't want to request to come up. I hate to say it, but Black Americans speak English, not American. The influence is from elsewhere. Black Americans speak.
Yo,
What's going on, brother? What's your name and where you from?
you said I'm from Ohio. I didn't catch the other question.
I said, where you from? I mean, what's your name?
It's just James from Ohio.
Okay, talk to me, James.
I'm curious as to like what you're trying to get at. If you watch the video, it's very clear. He stands up, he strikes her in the backside of her clavicle, in between her neck and her shoulder, like in that little soft space in your collarbone, which
Okay.
is where your jugular and several other arteries run. She obviously went into shock, covered her face, didn't know what to do, and the five other people who were around her did not even respond. They did
Okay.
nothing while she sat there and bled out and died. I
Okay.
mean, it's all on film. I just really am curious as to what you're questioning.
Well, you pretty much answered it. I questioned, why does it look like, number one, you made a great point. Nobody cared. I'm watching the back film of it, of him walking away. No one seemed to be in any panic. She didn't seem to scream. It just looked like a situation where it just nobody seemed to care. And not only that, but I'm questioning.
Brother, uh,
Hold on. You asked me a question. You asked me what am I questioning? I'm answering. You just said that no one seemed to care, which is another problem with the whole situation. Nobody turned around. Nobody turned around to see what all this commotion was about. She didn't scream. Ah! Ah! You know white T girls love to scream. You know white people love to scream. Ah! Ah! Help! Help! Somebody! She didn't do none of that. And then when she got jabbed, she's not covering up any wounds. That you go into shock, and the first thing you do is cover your mouth. See what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not gonna say it did happen. I'm just saying I just have questions. That's all.
have can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Have you ever been stabbed?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I have. I've been stabbed.
Okay. Now, when you were stabbed, was it a face-on-face, uh, you know, confrontation, or were you taken by surprise?
Taken by
Because there's a
surprise.
big difference.
Taken by surprise.
You were taken by surprise, and as soon as you were stabbed, did you start screaming and begging everybody else for help?
I went completely into
Because
reflex
in
and
most
started.
situations,
Wait,
when
hold
people
on. You
are
asked me
caught
about
off,
you asked me about my situation. Don't talk about most situations. We just asked me about my situation. Can I speak on my situation? Right. So when I did get stabbed, the first thing I did was hold on to that spot. went into quick reflex. Oh shit! What the fuck? And I grabbed that spot that I was stabbed in. I didn't cover my mouth and look around and then to the side. I mean, not to make fun of the situation, but I'm just saying that's just not what I did. The minute I got caught off guard, I'm in defense mode automatically. Like, where is it coming from? What's going on? You're touching me right here. Let me cover that spot. Not. And then another part of it, why is she bleeding from what appears to be blood coming from her butt rather than the side? I'm not understanding that. So all I'm saying is I just have questions. That's all. I'm not gonna say the brother didn't do it. I'm not gonna say the brother didn't do it. I'm just saying the video does look a little janky. That's all. It looks a little fraudulent for a second. And I'm just questioning it. Now, if it comes out and say that he absolutely did it, and that's what happened, and I don't lose anything from that. I'm just questioning the video. That's all.
So can I respond to that?
Go ahead, Judge James. Go ahead.
So in that, particularly in the place that she was stabbed, there's not going to be enough blood pressure for it to be shooting out of her neck or anything. And the most likely situation is that it lacerated her artery and it began to pool on that little pocket right there in between.
I didn't say anything about blood shooting out. I didn't say that should have happened. I just said if someone touches you in a particular spot.
I understand that, but you're questioning where the blood was coming from. So let me explain, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, so it was most likely pooling up and running down her abdomen and or her back and going down through her shirt into the bottom of the seat, which is where the blood was pooled when she finally fell over. Right?
Wrong. The blood was underneath her butt and not on the back of the seat. Why is it not?
Okay, but if it was underneath of her butt when she fell over, there was a clear puddle of blood. It wasn't smeared.
Hold on. Why isn't the blood on the back of the train seat? Why is it underneath her butt if it was sliding down her back? It's right underneath. When she tipped over, the blood stains are underneath her butt, not the back of the chair. Why is there no blood in the back of the chair?
Because when you wear... Okay, I would be happy to explain if you'll give me a few seconds. When you're wearing cotton or polyester, it's going to have a wicking effect on the fluid that's running through her. She clearly had more than one layer of clothes on. She had a shirt and then a hoodie on top of that. When you sit, there's along your spine, is there not like a little bit of space in between your clothes and your skin, right? Because of the concaveness of the body following the spine down. You know what I'm talking about, your back muscles.
Okay.
I would assume that that's probably where the blood was channeling down and dripping onto her seat. And when she fell over, it was obviously pooling underneath of her, yes.
The only problem with that statement that you're saying is that she literally pushed her back against the chair. You say she curled up like a ball and said, so that blood should have been touching the back seat of the chair, James. That's the only problem with your answer. She curled up like a ball and said this, and then she took inside.
Okay. So is it impossible if you put your right hand on your left clavicle, which is about where she was stabbed?
James, you have no answers. You keep trying to question. I'm just saying.
Trying to turn something that was clearly obvious into a conspiracy.
Right. Listen, y'all, for all y'all who don't know what's going on, a black man supposedly stabbed or jabbed a Jewish white tea woman, and all we're doing is we're questioning the scenario situation, because clearly when he got up to jab her, she just looked in shock, and then right after she got jabbed, first of all, surprisingly, he missed her face. Like he got right behind her, on top of her, jabbed right here, jabbed right, and missed completely her face. I would think with a little bit of head movement that he would have at least touched her face. This man missed her face completely and got right here, and quick too. Like it's just surprising to me how you miss somebody's face when you're over their head. That's number one. Two, we didn't see any marks on her neck after a few seconds that she was, about 5 seconds after she got jabbed. There was no red marks. There's no, people like them who are bright. The minute you touch them, they're going to flare up and turn red. There was no red marks anywhere. You know what I'm saying? There was no red marks. There was no traces of cuts. And then the minute she got jabbed, she covered her mouth and curled up like a ball. And then after she curled up like a ball, she tipped over, and then you got blood underneath her butt, but no blood on her neck. So I'm just questioning this whole situation. It just doesn't look. And then on top of that, nobody on the train.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you talk, Jay. I'm just giving everybody a summary. Nobody at the train stop or the train station cared. There was nobody on the train who was in distress. There's people to the left of her, people in front of her. See what I'm saying? I just don't understand why nobody turned around and said, "Hey, what's all that jabbing going on? Hey, you can't do that. Why are you over there jabbing?" Nobody said that. Right. So
What may I ask what the race of the people on that train around her were?
So you had I'm looking at the video right now.
And I'm not saying that.
I'm answering the question.
Watch the video.
I'm watching it right now. So you have a white T man that's in front.
Okay.
And then you have.
Do you remember? Do you remember about 8 months ago when that lady caught on fire?
Well, goddamn, Jay.
Do you remember about 8 months ago when that lady caught on fire on that?
Why are you asking me questions and then switching to another? Can I finish your statement? You have a white T man that's in front with his back turned. You have appears to be a black woman to the right and another colored person right behind her. No one seemed to scream or run. No one screamed to be moved. Everybody just act like it was a regular day. She didn't even scream herself. And I'm looking at this white T man right now. Nobody, it looked like some, I guess, Latino man right here. Nobody screamed. And so I'm not understanding what race had to do anything with it, because this train obviously looks multicultural. Right, go ahead, James.
Because there was one white guy?
No. There's one white, there's probably two white guys. The white guy that I'm speaking of is talking to another white guy right next to that. The white guy that's sitting now has a better view of what's going on. The other white guy standing over him, just talking over with his back turned to the situation. So it look like two white guys.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I see the sentiment in your argument.
James, that's all. I'm glad you said that. That's all we're saying. We don't know for real. That's all. I'm not gonna say the brother didn't do it. I'm not gonna say he did do it. I'm just gonna say I just don't know. It just something looks a little bit weird about this situation.
I understand it, and I see your points, but before I leave, because I'm gonna jump off here in just a second, but I just want to say that these are the types of propaganda and types of things. If this is a fraudulent act, right? If this is truly a fabricated thing, this is again just another illustration of the way that the government is pinning races in this country against each other to keep us distracted from the real enemy of sovereignty and the real enemy of liberty in this country. We could all be prospering beyond our wildest dreams, but we continue to nag and fight each other over the dumbest shit. And I just want to say I love you guys, and I really hope people start waking up, because this is exactly what they want.
Hey James, quick question before you go. Do you believe Black Americans deserve reparations?
Sorry, my mic was muted. Do I believe that black people deserve reparations?
Yeah.
Who exactly would be paying those reparations?
Who? The government?
because I had nothing to do with it. My dad had nothing to do with it. My grandfather had nothing to do with it. And but there are countless periods in time when Europeans and other, you know, uh,
Wait, hold
people
on,
of
hold on,
fair
hold on, hold on.
skin were under oppression and
Wait,
under slavery.
hold on, James, slow down. Let's take this one step at a time because I know you got to go soon. So I asked you, do you believe Black Americans who were in chattel slavery, who built this country, do you think they deserve reparations? And your answer to that was, who's going to pay?
My answer to that is no, because this country and you and me would not be having this conversation if the things that took place didn't take place. There are literally tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of black men and women who fought for the freedom and fought for this country as things developed. It was white people who liberated the black man. It was white
Whoa,
people who
whoa, whoa,
fought for
whoa,
you
whoa, whoa,
guys
whoa, whoa, whoa,
and
whoa,
and
whoa, whoa. Hold on, slow down, James. See, my panel is very
don't
fair, but
believe
wait, hold on, slow down.
reparations is
Wait,
crazy.
hold
That's
on.
a
So the rules to my panel is
thing to say.
I have to stop you when you say things that could be controversial. Just for a second, I just need to clear it up, and I'll let you talk again. So number one, you stated that your grandfathers and your grandfathers had nothing to do with slavery. I highly doubt that. I'm pretty sure if you go maybe 3 or 4 generations back, your people had something to do with chattel slavery or own slavery. I'm almost 99% certain. Two, two,
I have a family Bible that says otherwise, but that's fair.
I'll fair Bible. Okay. Two, you said white people freed um Black Americans from slavery. That's not true. What was going on was slavery was becoming unsustainable because we kept revolting, especially down here in Florida where I'm at. Have you heard of the Florida Seminole Wars? The most expensive war guerrilla warfare fought in America?
I have.
Okay. Andrew Jackson stated, the president stated that this was as much the Negroes fight as it was the Native Americans. And that war lasted from 1817 all the way to 1854. Slavery, we got free from slavery in 1865. Nat Turner happened a couple years after. So what I'm saying to you is this propaganda that you guys freed us, it wasn't because you freed us because you cared. You freed us because we just kept revolting. And at some point, it was going to become unsustainable. So you had to you had to find out a different way to make money. So half of y'all said we're going to move over to the manufacturing businesses in the north, and then the south said no, we want to keep things the same. So you guys didn't free us because you cared. You freed us because you was losing too much money. We was running away. You know what I'm saying? We were running away. We were revolting, cutting off some of y'all heads, going to war. It just wasn't sustainable. Now back to your point. So I just have a few questions. Did you question when you guys paid the Native Americans reparations? Did you ever question why you did that or why you had to give them any money? Or how about the Japanese? What did you feel like the U.S. paying the Japanese reparations? Did you think we had to do that? Or what about the Jews? Did you feel like we had to
Well,
pay them that?
well, to answer the question about the Jays, absolutely not. I think that if anything at all, every single sovereign, quote unquote, sovereign American citizen in this country, regardless of your race, is still a slave to the GAs. And that's something that will be dealt with in the next few decades, I'm sure.
Okay.
As far as the Native Americans, I mean, we not just white people, but melanated people also contributed to the genocide of millions of Native people when we came over here and colonized
Ooh,
this
how?
nation.
How
However,
how do we
the
contribute to
fact
that?
that these things took place,
Wait, hold on, James. How did Black Americans contribute to Native Americans genocide, especially when Native Americans owned
Black
slaves, yo?
Americans fought in wars.
Huh?
Black Americans fought in the wars alongside us.
Okay, but you
And
do
it's
understand.
simple, and especially
Wait,
like if you
hold on. You do realize that the Native Americans owned slaves as well too, before and after slavery was abolished.
so did Black Americans. Black
Very few
Americans were
numbers,
slave
sir.
owners too.
Very few numbers. Very few
It
numbers.
doesn't disqualify that fact though.
Right. Okay. So with that statement, why do you believe?
Slavery was a norm for literally hundreds of thousands of years, or
No,
tens
no,
of
no, no, no,
thousands of
no,
years
sir.
rather.
That's another lie. There's a difference between chattel slavery and indentured slavery. So you was an indentured servant, meaning that there was a time limit on how far you could be a slave. There was a contract. You and your people probably was indentured servitudes at one point, sir. But with us, we had chattel slavery. The first time the world has ever seen that. You don't think there should be any compensation for something like that? Slavery was passed down by generation
How
to
has it
generation.
affected, how has it affected how has it affected your sovereignty and your ability as an American today to provide yourself and your family with
Oh,
nothing more than the
okay.
best in the world? How
Perfect.
has it
Perfect. James, I love that question. That was a beautiful question, James. That question was so beautiful. So you do realize slavery was $1 trillion business that pretty much funded the white society. So that means you guys had a 200-year head start on us on economics. And
same
not
society that you still exist
hold on.
in
I'm not done
today?
yet. I'm not done yet. You guys had a 200-year head starts on economics. And not only that, but after slavery, you do owe for that as well, too. We had redlining, Jim Crow, segregation, the burning of Black Wall Street. You do realize you guys burnt and blew up majority of our neighborhoods, right? Our thriving, progressive neighborhoods. And you don't think there should be any compensation for
Who
that?
fought? Who fought hand in fist to end Jim Crow?
We did. We had civil rights. We had civil rights leaders. Who fought to end Jim Crow?
And what was the average, like, per capita? How many fathers were in the homes prior to the Civil Rights Act?
How many fathers were in the homes?
How many black fathers were in black family homes before the Civil Rights Act as opposed to today?
Um, so the Civil Rights Act was in the 60s. So in the 50s, we had a lot of black fathers in the home. What does that question have to do with anything?
Well, because per capita, as far like if you wanted to break it down into African American, um, before the Civil Rights Act, it was something like 67 to 71% of black homes had the fathers in the homes, and as we stand today, it's around 37%.
Okay.
So
Wait,
I
James,
don't know
James,
how that
hold on,
is
James.
even a
My bad.
valid argument.
James, what the fuck? James, just what the fuck? Let's stay on topic, James. What the fuck that had to do with anything? James, do realize that you owe for your wrongdoings? I'm not understanding
I
why
don't
you're
owe
trying to.
you anything.
And then you ask the question, and then you ask the question of how you owe, and I just gave you why you owe. It wasn't just for chattel slavery. That's a different slavery than all kinds of slavery. Then we had other things that happened to us after slavery. And you're gonna ask us, well, how does that lead up to today? You had 200, James. You had a 200-year head start on economics. We just started building economics without you guys bothering us 60 years ago. That's it.
Okay, so who's stopping you now?
From getting reparations. Listen. I'm only bringing this up, James, because you asked me.
What does reparations have to
Wait,
do with
hold on,
anything
James.
then?
Hold on,
Like,
James. Hold on, James. I was gonna let you go, but you asked me. Uh, you told me, "Hey, I love you guys. We all need to come together." So I said, "Okay, this, white bread might be cool." So I said, "Hey, white bread, if you really believe,
I stand
hold
by that.
on, hold on, hold on,
I
hold on,
still stand.
hold on." I said, "Okay, white bread, if you really believe, if you really believe that we all need to come together and fight the
Racist
James,
thing to
then
say, by the way.
hold
White
on,
bread, really?
James, white bread, hold on. If you really believe that we all need to come together, then you should pay reparations to get your black brothers back on track after the wrongdoing so we can come together. I'm not understanding how else we're going to come together until you pay up. So do you really believe we all should come together? Are you willing to pay the price that it takes to come together?
I 100% pay the price or agree that we should still come together, but like the pay the
Okay,
price
James,
thing
you
is
go put in a pension for
it's
reparations for us, James.
nonsense. It's
Huh?
nonsense.
So the
How
wrongdoings that your ancestors
what
did, the wrongdoings that your ancestors did is nonsense, sir? It's nonsense for putting us through chattel
the
slavery? You think that's
wrong
nonsense? Go ahead,
are you
James.
guys gonna give reparations to all the black, like the African slave owners that were in Africa and the Jews? Are the Jews who owned the slave ships that brought you all here and ran that whole
First of
racket?
all, sir,
Who's gonna pay for
they had no. I'm not giving them pass, but they had no clue that you were going to perform chattel slavery on us. They thought it was going to be another regular form of slavery that where
that's a crazy assumption.
hold on.
That's a
Remember,
crazy
remember, James, slavery had an endpoint. See what I'm saying? There was a contract that signed that said you worked to pay off a debt. You know what I'm saying? Or you were under contract. They didn't know you guys were going to keep us for generations. That's the difference, James. Come on, you don't think you owe us? It was a couple thousand, James. I know you got it, James. James, you got it, James. You don't got it?
couple thousand. What is a couple thousand gonna do for your people?
No,
What
I'm just saying individually. I know you know a black
is a
person.
couple thousand gonna
Listen,
do for
James,
the black
listen.
man?
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you my cash app and send me a
Black
couple thousands. Just pay your deeds to the black community. So you're the one who said we all didn't come together. So James, I'm gonna send you my cash app.
you're
Hold on,
you're
James. I'm gonna
hilarious.
send you my cash app since you said a couple of thousands isn't a lot. Okay, and then give it to me, and then we can go from there,
Couple
James.
thousand.
It's an early start.
Can I let me ask one question. I'm gonna leave. But let me ask one question. What is a couple $1,000 gonna do? What is it gonna do? What sort of milestone, light years ahead in economics do you think that a couple $1,000 per person is gonna do for
My
your
hands up.
people?
My hands up.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, Colorado. First of all, James, I was just being sarcastic. You owe us millions, billions as a whole group. I was just saying you could give somebody a couple thousand of those, James, but you really owe us millions.
I'm just saying
No,
the longer that we
I was just
hold
being,
on
I
to
was
this
just being funny.
ideology and continue
James,
to
I was
fight
really
each
just being
other,
funny, but you like to be very detailed and specific, so I can't be funny with you.
you keep cutting me off when I'm making my point.
You owe us billions, James. So listen, James, I'm gonna take you up on your offer.
Who's
I'm gonna
got
take you,
billions?
James. Look, I'm gonna take you up
Who
on your
has
offer.
billions to give?
Hold on. I'm gonna take you up on your offer. You guys do because you spent it on COVID 3 or 4 years ago on the goddamn testing sites that
On
put us in debt.
COVID.
That put us
Really?
in debt $20 trillion. So you guys have it. Anyways, so I'm gonna take you up on your offer on us coming together and fighting this one particular person under the contract that you pay us.
It will never happen. It will never happen until you let
Oh,
go of this
so we don't
ideology,
need to
bro.
be together then. Okay, fine. Thank you, James. We don't need to be together then. Thank you. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So when they get to these talking points saying, we love you guys. We all are one. Okay, pay reparations.
Kick me out. Kick me out. I'll come back.
All right. Okay, pay reparations. Pay reparations then.